Welcome back to the Home Stretch podcast. We're going to dive straight into today's episode, which is all about how to deal with, I guess, stress, or, when you've got house delays going on, how best you can help within yourself to deal with that stress and to deal with those delays. Because I feel like there's so many things that you can do in life that isn't just related to house buying stuff and the delays that happen with that, but also stress and things things that are outside of your control in your normal life as well. If it's something to do with your work that's annoying you, or maybe one of your family members is annoying you recently, or you're just feeling a little bit lost in terms of your purpose, or where you see yourself in like a few years time, maybe you can't see that and it's frustrating for you. So I feel like in loads of areas of life we can get really annoyed at ourselves, and we can get quite down, we can get quite, we can overthink things a lot, and I tend to do that a lot, and that's probably why I'm feeling the need to talk to you about this in this episode. I recently have had like quite a weird week. I will rewind a little bit, but it's been one of those weeks where I'm just a little bit lost, and I feel like my purpose in life feels a little bit disorganized right now, I think, because I'm self-employed, which I love and I'm so grateful, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But I feel like in terms of like my content and what I actually want to do, I'm really struggling with where that fits in to even just seeing myself in a year's time. So I feel like this week was a bit of an eye-opener for me, that it's okay to not have it all figured out, and no one has it figured out. And if they do, then fair play. But I don't think most people do. So I gave myself the space this week to really look inward and to, kind of balance my energy again, because I was all over the place. I was literally like crying one time and then getting angry the next and just feeling frustrated, and my energy was just generally low. And even Nathan picked up on it, to be honest, and he is good at that. But we had a really good couple conversations about it, and he really helped me open my eyes with a few things. So that was my week. It hasn't been great. I've just really, do you know what it is, right? I feel like when it comes to like motivation, I struggle with procrastination. When I find something that I love, I go all in, and I do have an addictive personality. That's my Virgo tendencies coming out. I do find sometimes when I need to do something that I know is hard, I'll find that I do procrastinate a lot. And my procrastination is like deep cleaning the house. So it's a productive form of procrastination, but it's still procrastination, right? That's what I need to hit on the head and really hone in on and focus on. And I need to just do things. Like, I feel like I tiptoe around things that I think is difficult, and then when I come to do them, I'm like, oh, this actually isn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. So I need to just get on and just do it in the first place, and then I wouldn't be in the position where I think that I'm procrastinating and then get more annoyed at myself. Does that kind of make sense? That's sort of where my week's been this week. So it has been a bit up and down. It's been a bit confusing. It's been a bit annoying. But then I'm telling you now, I had the most profound experience yesterday that I feel like I don't understand why I don't do it more often. And I will go into a few different things that have helped me, especially when it comes to buying a house and the stress that it caused me during that process. There was a few things that I did that helped with that. So I will go into that as well. In terms of like feeling stressed, feeling anxious, feeling a little bit overwhelmed and that sort of thing, the one thing that helped me yesterday was a half-an-hour meditation. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be thinking, oh, meditation, we know that it's good for you. I can't sit there and stay still. I'm too fidgety, or, I can't make my mind think of anything. It's just loads of thoughts pop in my head. But that is the point of meditation. Like, you're not trying to battle not thinking about anything. You're just sitting there and observing. Things will come into your mind. That's supposed to happen. The form of meditation is to not be judgmental of those thoughts, whether they're negative, whether they're positive, whether they're, something that you need to do something tomorrow, or something that happened last week that you feel embarrassed about. Whatever thoughts pop into your head, the main thing that you're trying to do within meditation is observe them and be non-judgmental. You watch them come, you watch them go. And when a lot of thoughts do pop into your mind, which it does all the time, it's very normal, you help to bring yourself back to the present moment by maybe focusing on your breathing, or maybe you're listening to a guided meditation on YouTube. So there's different ways to help bring you back into the present moment, but thoughts will pop into your head. That's very normal. We are people and beings that have thoughts. And I think one thing that I will say about thoughts and things that pop into your head, I get crazy things come into my head all the time, right? To the point where I'm like, I feel like I'm a bit crazy. But you need to understand that like thoughts aren't your own. They're kind of just like waves of things that come and go. And that's kind of what happens sometimes when, I don't know, you're really embarrassed about something that happened like a few weeks ago or something, and you're overplaying that thought over and over and over again in your mind. It's not your thought. And the more you attach, an emotion to that thought, that's what's keeping it going over and over in your head. And I'm telling you now, meditation is like the best form of dealing with that, because you'll be in meditation, you'll think of a thought or you'll see a thought come in, and then you kind of just watch it go by and you just observe it, and you be non-judgmental around it. And when you start doing that in meditation, a lot of times, getting those reps in over and over again, when your thoughts come in, with everyday life, that's when you can actually start to like observe them, let them flow in, and then be non-judgmental about them. So that thing that happened a few weeks ago that you was once embarrassed about, the same thing happened at a dinner, but you're not now overthinking that and being embarrassed about it, because you understand that initial thought of embarrassment that comes into your head, you observe it, you're non-judgmental, and then it goes, and you don't attach that emotion. And I think it's the attachment of the emotion that drives the overthinking, especially when it comes to things in the future as well. And I am bad for this. Like, I overthink things in the future more than I do in the past a lot. And I think that comes down to being self-employed, running your own business, having multiple businesses, trying to keep up to date with things, looking for the next trends, researching like, what am I posting next? What ideas do I have next? How can I keep my audience engaged? What do my audience want to see? How can I change up my content? Like, those things go on in my head all the time. And it's so hard for me to not attach emotion to that. And I try my best to let them ebb and flow and come and go. But there is going to be times where something is going to bug me and I'll overthink about it. And when I do get to that point, I meditate, and I'm telling you now, it is like the number one thing that you can do if you're ever struggling with your mind, if you're struggling with, loads of overthinking and thoughts. And that's why it comes into the house buying process like massively, because you're overthinking and you're stressed about if you're going to get this house or not. So you're overthinking about the future. If you sit in meditation and become present and you watch thoughts come and go and be non-judgmental about it in your waking life, when you open your eyes and then you go about your day, it will happen less often. I promise you. It's honestly just the best thing. And yesterday was the first time in probably a good like 2 to 3 years that I meditated for half an hour straight. And what I did was I set up a guided meditation on YouTube, and I sat, and I have like a little kind of cushion that props my like pelvis up. So I sit on the floor and I kind of put my legs cross-legged with my hands on my knees, and I meditated for half an hour straight, to the point where I didn't even want to come out of the meditation. And this is why I feel like sometimes people need to try to meditate more than 10 minutes. And I know some people do say, even if you meditate for 5 minutes, it's good. And yes, don't get me wrong, it is good. It's better than nothing, right? However, you honestly get the most benefits the more time you meditate. So me meditating for that half an hour yesterday, I was just like, I just had the most incredible experience where I just felt so in awe and happy and just in that present moment, but also like just that those good feelings. Like, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks a lot about brain and heart coherence, where your energies kind of like align perfectly, and it's like this harmonious feeling of like happiness and joyfulness and just being, and you kind of detach from anything else that's going on in your life, whether that's negative or positive. And I felt like that yesterday, and it was the most incredible experience. And I actually haven't felt like that in a long time, because usually I'll meditate for like 10 minutes and I don't go so deep in the meditation where I feel like I'm drifting away, and it doesn't last that long. I kind of feel relaxed and I feel like it was nice. But when I've gone into like the 20 minutes, 30 minutes into meditation, like I did yesterday, the feelings you get, because you really then sit in it for longer. And I didn't feel those euphoric feelings until later on in the meditation. So I feel like it takes some time sometimes to actually sit there and be comfortable and relax and actually get into it, if that makes sense. So if you're new to meditation and you've never really done it before, or you kind of dipped in and out and you've maybe only meditated for like 5 or 10 minutes here and there, please just try it for 1 week. Try half-an-hour meditations every day, whether that's in the morning, that means you have to get up a little bit earlier, or in the evenings, or maybe if you work from home all the time and you've got half an hour on your lunch break. Please just try it for a week and tell me how you feel. Because me just doing one, and I'm doing it now every day until I'm probably going to do like a whole month and then see how I feel. Just doing the one had such a good experience on me that I need to do it more, because, and I know I need to do it more because it does help my mind. It does help my frame of mind and the way I think and stuff. So that is just a recommendation for me that I think you should try. If you're going through the house buying process and you have loads of delays, try meditation, because it is honestly like the best form of self-help therapy for me personally, and I feel like it will benefit you too. So you'll find as well, like in your waking life, you'll look at things in more detail. Like you'll see things more clearly and more vividly and more like, oh, I never noticed that about that. But because you weren't paying attention before, I feel like it's so easy for us to get put into autopilot mode where we go about our daily lives and our routines and, you know, everything is normal. And then when something happens out of the norm, that's when it's a bit more traumatic for us, whether that's positive or negative. But when you start to meditate, you hone in the present moment more in your waking life. So then when you go about your waking life, you'll become more aware of things like the tiny little, I don't know, things on my microphone that I've only just noticed now, or like little things around the house. I'm like, oh, I never noticed that little thing up there that we want to get done, but I'm picking up on it now because my brain is more aware of being in the present and not either my mind being in the past or mind being in the future. It's in the present, so you're picking up on things more clearly, if that kind of makes sense. But I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm waffling now a little bit, but I'm so passionate about meditating and how good it is for you and for your mind. And if you are the type of person that gets stressed, please just try it. And what is the worst that can happen? I feel like people don't bother trying it because they think, well, I can't sit still for half an hour, so I'm just not going to try. But even if you last like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, you've still tried it, and it gets easier with time, if that makes sense. But I promise you, like, when you're in that state of mind, you do not want to come out of it. It feels so nice. And I've never met one person that doesn't like meditation. And that's all I'll say. A lot of people just don't do it or try it because they feel like they can't, and they feel like they've got too many thoughts going in their mind. But realistically, they would like it because it makes you feel so good. So that is just my little hot take on meditation. Please try it and let me know how you feel. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of inspiration to try it, because I think looking at healthy habits or good habits that we want to pick up, meditation has always been flown around, and one of those things where it's like, oh, it's good to meditate for a little bit every single day, and it is, but you actually have to put it into practice and do it. So hopefully this is going to push you in the right direction to try it. And I'm going to also test myself and do it every single day for like the next 30 days. And I might even do like a whole podcast episode on that, just to kind of give you my insights and what happened with me, and maybe that might push you to do meditation as well. So yeah, I think I will do that because I felt so good yesterday. And I remember doing a TikTok and I just felt so passionate and so, I don't know, just happy. It was really, really nice. Hopefully you can take something away from that, as you will. And yeah, meditation is great. Now, another thing that you can do, and this is something that I did a lot when I was going through the house buying process, is if there's things that are stressing you out, or you're waiting on someone, or, you know, something's taking ages, or the seller's solicitor isn't getting to your solicitor, and you're just feeling quite stuck and stagnant. One thing that really helped me, and again, this is going to sound like we already know that, you know, it's good for you and we know we should be doing more of it, but it's going out for a walk. It's literally going for a walk. So putting your headphones on, listening to a podcast or listening to your favorite music. It's literally going for a walk, getting fresh air, clearing your head. And it's going to be a bit different for everyone because not everyone will feel the benefits of walking as much as others. But I honestly thought at the time when I was going through the house buying process stuff going for a walk was the best thing for me. I didn't really want to sit in meditation for half an hour. I didn't meditate a lot back then when we were going through the process. I kind of wish I did now, but going for a walk was my go-to sort of like release. So if we had a bad phone call where, our solicitor hasn't got back to our solicitor, so our solicitor was letting us know, I would kind of hang up the phone and maybe be quite stressed, and Nathan would be like, we should go for a walk. And I'm like, yeah, we should. And I would go for a walk. And usually while I was going for a walk, I was doing quite a lot of TikTok videos talking about the process. So in a lot of my walking and talking videos, I'm a bit more emotional because I'm going for a walk to clear my head. So if anyone was watching my TikToks back then, that was why. If I was a bit more emotional, it was because I was trying to clear my mind. But it really did help a lot. And I feel like it was clearing my mind, but also getting fresh air. And it made me, again, quite present. And I remember just kind of like breathing in the fresh air. And it was really cold back then. I think this was around December time. But I remember just breathing in the cold air and feeling it on my face, and then just being so present and thinking, do you know what? We've got a lot of delays right now, but we're able to buy this house. And, we're still in the process. We haven't lost the house yet, and we're still there. But this happened a few days ago, so we need to be grateful for that. So I was actually finding things to be grateful for while I was on a walk, and I think that helped me so much. And I was probably going for like a 45-minute walk, so it wasn't just like a quick 10-minute one. I was like, I need to go and actually clear my mind. So that helped me loads. So if you do ever feel overwhelmed or something's really stressing you out and you're kind of up there, just take yourself out for a walk, put your shoes on, put your headphones on, or not, if that's better for you, and just go for like a half-hour walk. Try to not think about the house or like the house buying process or things that's annoyed you. Try and think about things that you're actually grateful for. And I promise you, when you walk back through the door after your walk, you are going to feel 10 times better than when you left that house in the first place. Take it from someone that went through it. It helped me so much. And even if you don't have time to go for a walk or you want to do something else, just get a pen and paper and write down 10 things that you're grateful for in that moment, whether that's to do with the house buying process or other things in your life. It's about switching your mindset in that moment of feeling stressed to, being present and being grateful, because you can't be stressed and be grateful at the same time. It's just a thing. Like, you can't be stressed out about the future and then actually feel grateful for where you are right now. You can do one or the other. So if you focus on what you're grateful for, the stress disappears. Even if it's like not for that long, it still disappears from your mind for a certain amount of time. So that is my best advice. Just either take yourself for a walk and think of things that you're grateful for while you're on a walk, or grab a pen and paper and write down 10 things that you're grateful for. Even sometimes I would have a bit of fun with this, and I would mix in things that I was grateful for that haven't happened yet. So I would maybe say, I am so grateful that we got the keys. Or I would say, I'm so grateful that the seller solicitor got back to us really quickly on this last inquiry. So I was kind of tricking my brain into like reading these things that I was grateful for. And most of them were things that I was grateful for here and now. But then the odd one or two would be something in the future. And lo and behold, everything came true. So take with that what you will. I think gratitude is such a slept on like habit for us to be able to bring in manifestations in our life. I just think try to not be overthinking stuff about the future and just being in the present and being grateful. And that is honestly one of the best things that you can do. So that wraps up today's episode. I just wanted to dive a little bit into meditation and the effect that it's had on me. And hopefully that's inspired you to get your meditation hat on and giving things a try. If you can't sit there by yourself in silence, just try a guided meditation on YouTube. It is so easy, and there's so many out there. And a lot of the times I used to do just like a 10-minute morning meditation, whereas now I'm now moving more forward into like the half an hour meditations where you're sat in there for a while. So just build yourself up if you're just starting from scratch, or if you want to go all in and do the half an hour, then please do if you can. Just give it a try, and I promise you, you will feel so much better within yourself. So I hope something in there helped. I hope something in there inspires you to do something that's maybe a bit out of your comfort zone, but all in all, it's going to help you feel better. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and I will see you on the next episode.